Hey everyone, welcome to Yoga with Laura Mack. I'm Laura, and this is the 35-minute backbending, heart-opening flow. We'll take our time to really move through the spine to warm up the shoulders before approaching more expansive, challenging backbends like dancer's pose or full wheel or Vidyanurasana. Grab whatever props that you like to use and meet me on the mat. Come into a comfortable seated position and rest the hands or the backs of the wrists to your knees. Just find a sense of lifting, a sense of stacking of shoulders over hips and the head sitting on top. You can either close your eyes or soften the eyes down. Essentially taking just a couple moments to stop, to ground, before we come into movement. Bring your focus to your breath. Noticing the natural ebb and flow of the breath, moving in and out the nose. Without trying to change or improve anything, simply tuning in. Feel the slight shifts that happen in the body as you breathe. The lifting and lowering of the shoulders. The expansion and contraction around the belly, the ribs. The grounding of the hips and the lifting up of the chest. And just take a couple more moments seated here to deepen the breath now. So intentionally inhaling slower, more fully. And exhaling the same length, completely emptying out the breath. On your next inhale, pause all the way at the top. Letting it lift you up, sitting taller, letting it really fill you up 360 degrees. And open the mouth, sigh it out. Come back to the breath, in and out the nose. And try to move in harmony with your breath, in sync with your breath, and in tune with your body throughout the flow. Blink your eyes open, and immediately we'll switch up the crossing of our shin bones. So whichever one was in front now goes behind. And bring the hands to the knees, a couple seated cat-cows. Roll the shoulders back, lift the chest, arc the back, lifting your tailbone. Inhale, first one doesn't have to be big. Exhale, chin to chest, spread the shoulder blades and sit back a little more. Inhale, rising up tall, lift your chest, squeeze the shoulder blades, maybe you lift the head. Exhale, chin to chest, tuck the tailbone under. Use the grip of your hands to lean back even further. A couple more. Inhale, rise up, arch the back. Exhale, curling in, rounding down. And last one. Inhale, pull the belly in as you arch the back. Exhale, rounding, pull the belly in here too. Sit all the way up, reach the arms overhead with your inhale. And on your exhale, turn to your left as much as you can with the upper back with the side body. Then release the left hand behind you, the right hand to the outside of the left knee. And we'll take about 3 breaths here, sitting tall. Little tuck of the chin. I think we've got a feathered friend with us today. Good, one more deep breath. And unwind, come back through center, both arms up. Inhale. Good, exhale, twist as much as you can to the right, then drop the right fingertips behind you, left hand to the outside of the right knee. Tuck the chin, take 3 deep breaths, sitting up tall. 2 more. One last one. Unwind, come back through center. Circle the arms above you one more time. Inhale. Exhale, hands through heart center and come onto all fours, hands and knees, however you like to get there. Taking the knees back, opening them apart, hips distance, stacking shoulders over wrists, and really hold them out with your fingertips as you spread the fingers. Now for balance, you can tuck the right toes under. For more challenge for your core, press through the top of the right foot. We'll lift the left knee to hover just above the mat and start to circle out through the left hip, like you're drawing circles with the knee. Moving slowly, carefully at first as you work through any creaks and cracks or stiffness in the hip. And then starting to get a bit bigger with your circles, taking the knee all the way out to the side, up and back. Good. And lift the left knee high behind you. The knee is still bent. You can flex the foot, you can point the toes, whatever feels good. Think about cow here. Arch the back, lift the heart through your arms, lift your head. Inhale, lift the knee a bit higher. Exhale, knee to nose, cat, spread the shoulder blades. Inhale, arching the back. The foot chases the head. Exhale, rounding the shoulders. The knee comes towards your nose. Last time, inhale, lift that knee high. Exhale, curling in. Lift the left knee behind you again, but stop when it was pretty much in line with your hip. Good, then lean over into the left hand. Right hand leaves the mat and reaches back behind you with the thumb facing up. See if you can catch pinky toe edge of the back foot. And if you've got a hold of it, look forward again. Kick the foot into the hand. Lift your chest, squaring the shoulders to the top of the mat. Big stretch across that right pec and the left hip and quad. 3, 2, and 1. Gentle release, left knee to the mat, right hand down. Sit back on your shin bones for a moment. Interlace the fingers, press the palms, and just roll up those wrists. We're on our hands for a little while there. I like to do kind of a full body roll. Nice. Come back to tabletop. Setting up again with fingers spread, holding the mat, shoulders over wrists. This time you might tuck the left toes under or simply press through the top of the foot. As you lean into the left knee, right knee leaves the mat. Circle out the hip. Small at first. Then as the hip gets a bit warmer, you take the movements a bit bigger. Keep breathing. Reverse the direction of your circles a couple times. Then lift that right knee high behind you. Arch the back. Heart through the arms. Shoulder blades melt together. Inhale. Exhale, knee to nose around the upper back. Inhale again like cow with a little tail. Exhale, super engaged cat. Curl in. One more time. Inhale, arch. Exhale, round. Inhale to lift that right knee behind you, stopping when it's in line with the hip. Exhale, the left hand leaves the mat and reaches back with the thumb facing up. Look over the left shoulder, trying to catch pinky toe to the back foot if you can. And then square off again and kick the foot into the hand to lift the knee a bit higher. Draw the belly in. Lift your chest as much as you're lifting the back knee. 3, 2, no slingshots on 1. Right knee down, left hand down, right into Anahatasana puppy pose. Curl the hands forward, mount your chest. Think about the back being kind of a ski slope. The tailbone is the top of the hill, and the space between your shoulder blades is the bottom. Now, some of you maybe are bringing the forehead down. Some of you maybe can bring the chin down and look between your thumbs. Really accessing the upper back here by letting the shoulder blades mount. Heart forward and down. 3, 2, and 1. Pull yourself through into your bellies. Stretch the legs back, press through the tops of the feet, and take the fingertips in line with the chest, slightly wider than the edges of the mat. Roll the shoulders back, oscillating cobra. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, release. Keep pressing through feet. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, release. Last one. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, release. Sweep the hands back by your sides, preparing for our Shalabhasana, palms facing down, locust pose. Reach the fingertips back towards your toes, taking the shoulders away from your ears. Then lift the hands to hover above the mat. Float the feet above the mat, reaching the toes back. Adding our last piece, retract the shoulders, so squeeze the shoulder blades to lift your chest a little bit more. Full back body engagement here. And keep extending the fingertips towards your toes and the toes back. Breathe as deeply as you can while on the belly. And release. Turn to one cheek. Wiggle the hips a little from side to side. And look forward. Bring the hands next to your side ribs, elbows tuck back, shoulder heads lift away from the mat. Cobra pose, inhale, pressing up again. And this time, child's pose, exhale. Hips back towards your heels. You can let the forehead touch down for a moment. Take a deep breath, focusing on releasing the low back. And as you're ready, lift your head away from the mat, tuck toes, downward facing dog. Lift the knees, tailbone goes high. And you might keep the knees bent for a little bit here as you explore some movement, free form movement in your down dog. Walking the legs out, swaying your hips. Keeping the foundation firm, so that gripping of the mat with fingertips, the lifting of the forearms, and the hugging in of the upper arms. Relax the head. You can even shake your head out here a little. Yes and no. Good. Now let's bring some movement to the spine in our down dog. So bending the knees, lifting your heels. The feet are the drivers here. Press forward, rippling through the spine, tucking the tailbone as you go. High plank. You might need to lengthen your stance. Inhale. Bend your knees, think cow, arch the back, exhale, lift the tailbone, downward facing dog. Press through the feet, tuck your tailbone, inhale, high plank. Bend your knees, exhale, downward facing dog. And keep cycling through a few more here with your own breath. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Next time you come to your high plank, inhale with or without lowering the knees. Exhale forward, then down, Chaturanga Dandasana. Straighten the arms, plank pose, inhale. Bend your knees, lift the tailbone, exhale, downward facing dog. Now we'll take a full flow. Inhale, round forward, ripple forward, high plank. Exhale, chest forward, lower, Chaturanga. Up dog or cobra, whatever you're ready for. Inhale. Downward facing dog. Exhale, either rolling over the toes or tucking them. Take a deep breath. And again, lift your heels, bend your knees, keep the arms straight, and tiptoe yourself towards the top of the mat. So walking your toes up, take your time, about 5 seconds. At some point, you might need to bend your knees a little more. Maybe the heels of the hands lift. Arriving with toes just behind the wrists, Uttanasana, forward fold. Drop the head and grab a hold of opposite elbows here. Whew. Keep a soft bend in your knees, letting your torso get long, letting your head dangle so that you're just going with gravity. You can even sway a bit front to back. Nice, release the fingertips down and slowly roll up the spine. Drawing the energy up through the legs. Uprighting the spine, shoulders back. Fix your clothing if you need to. Good, let's flow. Reach the arms up above you with a big inhale. Open the arms wide, soften the knees, dive forward and down, exhale. Lift and lengthen, hands to shins, come up halfway, inhale. Exhale, fold, left foot steps towards the back of the mat. High lunge, inhale, take the arms up. Exhale, right hand holds the back of the left wrist. Inhale, lift your left fingertips up. Exhale, lean over to the right and up, side bending. Take 2 breaths. You might bend the back knee a little bit more. Good, one more. Release the wrist, come back through center, crescent lunge, inhale. Exhale, lower the back knee all the way down. Now you might keep back toes tucked or untucked, whatever feels best. Wiggle the front foot forward a little bit more. Press into the front foot, back off the lunge, reach the arms up, inhale. Deepen your lunge, bend your elbows, exhale, lift the chest. Find an upper back bend. 2 more, inhale, press into the front foot, rise up. Exhale, sink down, lift your heart, bend your elbows. 1 more time, inhale. Exhale. Release the hands on either side of the front foot. Rock your hips back. Ardha Hanumanasana, half splits. Fingertips right underneath shoulders. Front leg is straight-ish. Little bend to the back of the knee. Active from the toes and the ankle. Pull your chest forward. And take 1 more breath. Bend the front knee again. Plant the foot flat. Hands to either side of the front foot. Back toes tucked. 3-legged down dog. Lift the back knee. Lift your right leg up. Inhale. Bend your right knee, open and stack your hips as you exhale. And take hip circles here. So rolling that right leg out, let it get dropped behind you, to the chest, out to the side, and 2 in the reverse direction. Right foot downward facing dog. Step the right foot down. Press forward, high plank. Inhale. Exhale, take your chaturanga. Up dog or cobra brings you through on the inhale. Exhale, lifting up and back, downward facing dog. Inhale through the nose. Let it out your mouth. Bend knees, lift heels, look forward. Yogi's choice, walk, step, or hop the toes behind your wrists at the top of the mat. Lift and lengthen. Inhale, hands to shins. Exhale, fold. All the way up to standing. Inhale, reach the arms above you. Exhale, just relax the arms down by your sides. Take the arms up again. Inhale. Exhale, diving forward with wide arms, soften the knees. Lift and lengthen. Inhale. Exhale, fold. Right foot steps towards the back of the mat. Stand the ball of the right foot, rise up. High crescent lunge. Inhale. This time, exhale, left hand holds the back of the right wrist. Inhale, stretch the right fingertips up. Exhale, curve your body over to the left. We'll hold 2 breaths. If you need to, bend the back knee a little bit more. And 1 more. Release the wrist, come through center. Inhale. Exhale, lower back knee down to the mat, maybe keeping back toes tucked or untucked. Wiggle the front foot forward. Rise up out of your lunge, so back off the lunge on your inhale. Exhale, bend the front knee, bend your elbows, lift your chest. Inhale, reach up, squeeze the inner thighs. Exhale, lunge deep, upper back bend. 1 more time, inhale. Exhale. Release hands to either side of the front foot. Rock your hips back, walk your fingertips back, half splits. Right hip over right knee. Front leg as straight as you're comfortable. Play the toes really active here, so back towards your chest, along through the spine, 2 breaths. 1 more. Rebending the front knee, plant the foot flat, plant the hands to either side of the front foot. Back toes tuck, back knee lifts, 3-legged down dog, left leg up and back. Inhale. Exhale, bend the knee, open the pelvis, stack your hips. Clawing the mat with your fingertips, roll out circles with that left hip. Switching directions a couple times. And set the left foot down next to the right, downward facing dog, pressing forward, driving through the legs, high plank. Inhale. Exhale, chaturanga dandasana. Inhale, urdhva mukha svanasana, upward facing dog. And downward facing dog, adho mukha svanasana, tongue twister. Downward facing dog, big breath in. And sigh it out. Bend the knees, lift your heels, look forward. Walk, step, or hop your feet between the hands to the top of the mat, so those feet are together. Lift and lengthen. Inhale. Exhale, fold. This time, Utkatasana, chair pose. Bend your knees. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, hold. See if you can bring the knees and the shins back a little bit more, even lifting your toes. So that as we sink a bit lower, breathing deeply, we take the pressure off of the knees, we load the backs of the legs a little bit more. And go ahead and sink a bit deeper, but keep the chest lifting. And sit a little bit lower and lift your chest. Sit all the way down, Navasana boat pose. Arms to either side of your legs. Now, I personally prefer just hovering the feet or shin bones parallel. If you've got a really big boat, you can go ahead and lift the legs straight up, whatever feels best for you. Lower to half boat on the inhale. Send the feet forward, hover the shoulders. Exhale, Navasana boat, knees to chest. Inhale, lower to hover. Exhale, half boat, or boat pose, I should say. Inhale, lower, half boat. Exhale, boat. Last 2. Inhale, lower, hover, squeeze the inner thighs. Exhale, knees to chest. Last one, inhale, lower. Exhale, knees to chest. This time, lower on your inhale. Exhale, reach the arms up towards the sky or the ceiling. Bring the knees in. Split the knees apart, but the big toes are still touching. Can you bring those knees right up towards the armpits and reach for the sky or the ceiling? And see if you can bring the tailbone off the mat for 3, 2, and 1. Feet down, hips distance apart. Head and shoulders down, hands next to your hips. Take a moment. Walk your feet in a little closer, maybe brushing those heels. Bridge pose, tuck your tailbone, then drive through your heels to lift your hips up. Any amount. It doesn't have to be a very big bridge pose, just enough to open up the front chain again. If it feels good, maybe tucking the shoulders underneath you. Inner thighs roll down to the mat, a bit of internal rotation there. Good. Untuck your shoulders, lift up onto your toes, slowly roll down the spine from the upper back to the mid back to the low back. Bring the knees towards your chest, give them a little squeeze, rock side to side. Take the hands behind your legs, begin to rock up and down the length of the spine. Woo. Good, and if this is going okay, see if you can do this reaching hands on either side of your legs, so without your hands. And the next time you rock up, finding chair pose with or without your hands. Plant the feet, lift the butt, woo, chair. Inhale, forward fold, exhale, dive down. Separate the feet a bit wider than hips distance apart. Turn your toes out and your heels in. Sink the hips all the way down, Malasana, yogi squat. Hands to heart, elbows to insides of the knees. And you might want to hang out here for a moment. Or some of you, Bakasana, crow pose, plant the palms, knees to armpits, round the upper back, think cat, and look way off the top of your mat. Elbows hug towards one another. Maybe both feet lift towards your butt. For 3, 2, and 1. Simply set it down, forward fold. Drop your head. Feet hips distance apart. If you're in Malasana, make sure you toe heel your feet a bit closer. Keep a soft bend to your knees. Reach the hands all the way behind the back. Interlacing the fingers, pressing the palms together. Now, if that's not the happiest place for your shoulders, you can hold opposite elbows as well. And float the thumbs away from the low back if that feels good. And shimmy your chest a little side to side. And instead of trying to just straighten the arms, think about squeezing the elbows towards one another, shoulder blades towards one another. Take another deep breath. And release the fingertips down to the mat. Slowly roll up the spine. Take your time as we shift from dropping the head low to lifting it up so we don't get lightheaded. Shoulders back, hands to hips. Lean the weight into the right foot, lift your left knee up in line with the left hip. You choose whether you're pointing the foot or flexing the foot. Circle out the hip. So a familiar action, but this is our trickiest place to do it from so far as we're standing on one foot. Reverse directions. Take your time. Next time the left knee is behind you, reach the right arm along the right ear. Left arm reaches back. Look over the left shoulder for a moment, twisting. See if you can catch the big toe edge of that back foot. And then coming out of the twist, look forward again. Square your hips to the top of the mat, your chest towards the top of the mat. Kick the foot into the hand to lift that back knee higher. Now the tendency here is to drop the chest to lift the back knee. Try to do the opposite. Lift your chest as high as you're lifting that back knee. Good, full back body engagement. Dancer's pose, even if it's not graceful, embrace whatever kind of dancer you're feeling like today. 3, 2, and 1. Step back, crescent lunge. Release the back foot. Inhale, both arms up. Open up, warrior 2. Exhale, spinning the back heel flat. Now maybe you didn't land quite wide enough for your warrior, so widen your stance. Right knee over right ankle. Deep bend in the front knee, shoulder blades squeeze together. We'll keep everything in the base the same and really move from our side body, our upper body. Leaning forward, right forearm to right thigh. Left arm sweeps down to the side of the mat, then up and over the left ear. Side angle pose. Inhale. Exhale, reverse warrior. Left hand down the back leg, right arm lifts. 2 more. Inhale, side angle. Do that semicircle with the left shoulder. Exhale, reverse warrior. Light on the back hand. Last time, inhale, side angle. Exhale, reverse warrior. Hold. Inhale, straighten the front leg. Lift the left arm up. Exhale, skandasana to the back of your mat, hands to heart center. So bending into the left knee, right toes point to the ceiling. Straightening the front leg as much as you're comfortable. Now get as low as you're comfortable. As long as left knee feels okay, maybe you drop a bit lower. Lift your chest. Watch that you're not locking out the right knee. You're driving the heel into the mats. Breathe deeply. Good, 1 more. And we'll transition from low to high. So start to lift your butt away from the mat, bending into your right knee again, left hand to left hip. Right hip hugs beneath you, right fingertips reach forward, Ardha Chandra, half moon. Drag and float the back leg up. Right shoulder right over right wrist. Good. Right foot facing forward. Reach out through the crown of the head. Yogi's choice, you might stay here. You might reach the left arm up. Or some of you, Chapasana, bending the lifted knee, left hand, sees if it can find the pinky toe edge of the back foot. And just like dancer's pose, kick the foot into the hand to get that big stretch in the front of that left quad and hip. For 3, 2, on 1. No slingshots. Gently release the lifted foot if you had it. Step back, warrior 2. As you land, inhale, reverse your warrior. Exhale, windmill, hands to either side of the front foot. Come to the ball of the back foot. Right leg up and back. 3-legged down dog. Inhale. Exhale, bend the knee, open up the hip. Yogi's choice, stay here, circle out the hip. Or pressing forward so the left shoulder's over the left wrist. Flip your dog, wild thing. Come to pinky toe to the back foot. Right hand leaves the mat. Maybe the left foot doesn't touch down at all. It chases your head as you drop your head back. Woo, take an inhale. Downward facing dog. Exhale, right hand to the mat, right foot back. Hold here or flow through your vinyasa. Inhale, high plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Cobra or up dog. Inhale. Downward facing dog. Exhale. Clearing breath in the nose. Let it out the mouth. Bend your knees, lift your heels, look forward. Walk, step, or hop your toes behind your wrists at the top of the mat. Lift and lengthen. Inhale. Folding down. Exhale. Rise to standing. Inhale, reach the arms. Exhale, release the arms down by your sides. Hands to hips. Lean the weight over into the left foot this time and lift your right knee up in line with the right hip. Strong powerhouse in the left leg. Circle out the right leg. Remember, some sort of action with your foot, whether it's a point or a flex. Take your time. Reverse directions. And take the right knee behind you. Left arm along the left ear. Look over the right shoulder. Reach the right hand back. Thumb is facing up. See if you can catch big toe edge of the foot. Square off your chest, square off your hips. You can even firm the knees towards one another for a moment. Then start to kick the foot into the hand, lifting the back knee. As you do so, equally lifting the chest. Woo, like Dhanurasana, like bow pose. This is our dancer's pose. Good, doesn't matter how high you're lifting. Think about more of an even lift. For 3, 2, and 1. Step back. High lunge, right foot lands. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, open up, warrior 2. Good. Stretching the arms in opposite directions. Take a moment to widen your stance if you can. Left knee right over left ankle, knee tracking straight forward. Squeeze shoulder blades together and let's move again from the side body. Lean forward, left forearm to left thigh. Right arm cuts a line down to the mat, then over the right ear, side angle. Inhale. Reverse warrior, exhale, left arm lifts. 2 more. Inhale, side angle pose. Reverse warrior, exhale. And last time, inhale, side angle pose. Reverse warrior, exhale, hold, straighten the front leg. Inhale, reach the right arm up. Exhale, bend into your back knee, your right knee, skandasana, hands to heart center. Now, wherever your right knee is tracking, that's where we want to be tracking the toes. Or wherever the toes are tracking, the knee is going. So keep tracing a line out over the toes. If you can, sit down a little lower. Watch that locking of the front knee drive through the heel. Lift your heart. Breathe deeply. Good. Look towards your left foot, going from low to high. Start to lift your butt away from the mat. Bend deep into the front knee, right hand to right hip. Immediately hugging the left hip beneath you, left fingertips reach forward. Ardha Chandra, half moon. Peel that back leg up and off the mat. Lift out through the crown of the head, so long from heel to head. Holding here, you can take the right hand straight up. Some of you, Chapasana, finding a back bend here. Bend the lifted knee. Can you catch pinky toe edge of the right foot with the lifted hand and kick the foot into the hand like it's trying to escape? Woo, and really ground the big toe of the standing foot. You can even start to reach your head back towards the right foot. 3, keep looking down for balance. 2, and 1, gentle release of the foot. Step back as carefully as you can. Warrior 2. When that right foot lands, reverse warrior. Inhale, left arm up. Exhale, windmill, hands to either side of the front foot. Come to the ball of the back foot. Left leg up and back. Inhale, 3-legged down dog. Exhale, bend the knee, open the hip. Holding here if you need, maybe a few hip circles, or some of you pressing forward until the right shoulder's over the right wrist. Roll to pinky toe edge of the back foot. Left foot can drop behind you, or maybe not even touch down as the left arm lifts. Wild thing or floating wild thing. Keep the head relaxing. Press the mat away with the right hand. Inhale. Downward facing dog. Exhale, left hand down. Step it back. Whew. Last option for Vinyasa. Either hold here or flow through. High plank. Inhale. Forward and lower. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale. Up dog cobra. Down dog. Exhale. Bend your knees. Lift your heels. Look forward. Walk, step, or hop through to seated. Flop down. Take the feet out in front of you, hips distance apart. Firm the knees towards one another without actually letting them touch. So almost like a little squeeze, a little action between the knees. And roll down to your backs. Arms to either side of your legs. If you need to scoot the hips forward a bit so you have space, go for it. Palms by your sides. Walk the feet in again. You might be able to brush your heels. You might not. It just depends on the length of your arm. We just want to have knees over ankles here. Good. We'll take 2 final back bends. First one, we'll revisit bridge. And then second one, you have the option to come to bridge or maybe Urdhva Dhanurasana full wheel. Tucking your tailbone, drive through the heels, lift your hips. Setu Bandhasana bridge pose. Like a block is between your knees, hug knees in without actually letting them touch. And there's a big amount of work going on in our legs in our back bends. So to fire up the backs of the legs even more, think about dragging your heels or your shin bones underneath you towards your shoulders. Maybe from here you snuggle the shoulders under, broadening across the collarbones. Keep those legs active. Take one more breath. Untuck the shoulders if they were beneath you. Come up onto your tiptoes and again roll down the spine. Good. And just take a moment. Try not to change anything about your feet because we're going up one more time. So again, you have that option to do your bridge pose or join me for full wheel. Setting up, flipping the palms to face towards the shoulders, hands next to your ears, elbows squeeze. And think about a ripple from the spine. So the energy starts with the feet. We'll lift like we're going into a bridge pose first. Press into the feet. Lift the hips, then let it come through to the chest, pressing into the arms. You might need to stop at the head for one moment to reset the hands, squeeze the elbows, and then see if you can straighten the arms. Chest through the arms. Good. Remember the feeling of the heels dragging beneath you. Watch those knees are not hanging out wide. Internal rotation of the thighs. If you need a little bit more space, you might even come up onto your tiptoes. Woo, good. Hold onto the mat with your fingertips. Take another big breath. Tuck the chin to your chest if you're in full wheel. Slow lower to the back of your skull. Slow roll down the spine. Arms by your sides, full wheels. You can always roll out the wrists a little bit if that was a lot on the hands. Step the feet a bit wider than hips distance towards the edge of the mat. And with the arms out by your sides, windshield wipe your knees side to side. Good. Feet back to hips distance apart. Pick up your right foot, cross right ankle over left thigh, figure 4, pressing the right knee towards the bottom of the mat. Yogi's choice, you might hold right here, letting the energy settle after that big back bend. If you need a little more sensation for the right hip, thread the needle is there for you. You can interlace the hands behind the left thigh. Start to let the breath settle. You might feel quite a bit of energy still coursing through the body. And take a little bit of time to disperse it, to move more towards calm, out of effort, more towards ease. Bring the left foot back down to the mat if you lifted it. Coming into a spinal twist, right knee on top of left knee, inner thighs together. You can cactus the arms if you don't have a whole lot of space around you, or reach the arms out wide. Shift the hips towards the right side of the mat, drop the knees to the left. So we end up with the right hip, the right knee on top. Holding like so. If it feels good, left hand can come on the outer strip of the right thigh. Two deep breaths. Thinking about sending that top hip forward, so we've got tons of space from the right shoulder to the right hip. Good. Come back through center. Reset. Feet are hips distance apart. Low back, pressing into the mat. Left foot crosses over right thigh, figure four. Pressing the left knee towards the bottom of the mat. Activity around the left ankle. So you're pulling the toes back towards the knee. Holding or interlacing the hands behind the right thigh. Now for thread the needle, especially if you're holding the shin, notice if the shoulders are starting to curl off the mat or even the tailbone. And make adjustments so that you can relax the shoulders and keep your tailbone heavy. So it might mean coming out a little bit, moving into a simpler variation. We want these poses at the end to really be easy to help us counter all that effort. Release the right foot down to the mat if you lifted it, setting up for our eagle twist. Left knee over right knee, inner thighs come together. Scoot your hips towards the left side of the mat. You can cactus the arms or open them wide and let your knees drop all the way over to the right. Maybe right hand goes on top of the left thigh. Think cobra pose with the chest here, so lifting your chest a bit. Think long through the left side. And if you're lucky, maybe you got a nice crack from the spine there. We'll take one more breath. Nice. Unwind. Come back through center. Ha. Yogi's choice. Making your way into anything that feels comfortable, any shape that feels comfortable for rest. So you could bring the soles of the feet together, Baddha Konasana or Supta Baddha Konasana, arms wide. If you prefer, you could stretch the legs long. If your low back is feeling a bit sensitive after the big back bends, you could take the feet as wide as the edges of the mat and let those knees knock in. Once you feel settled, close your eyes. Move into your softer side. There are moments in this practice that required a lot from us. There are poses that were very challenging and hard to find softness in. So, in the spirit of balance, which is what we always seek to find, hopefully on and off the mat, we'll let ourselves rest. Using the breath to lead the way. Be soft. Be calm. Be here. And here is where I'll leave you. I recommend you take at least 3 to 5 minutes resting. Thank you so much for joining me. I'll see you next time. Namaste.